Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sayyidatul Adkha from English Department 2017 IKIP Budi Utama Malang. The Honorable Memaya Rizky Amalia Sari MPD. Good evening and best wishes to my friend. Now I will present about my thesis, and the title is The Implementation of Describing Picture Strategy to Improving Speaking Ability at 7th Grade in MTS and UPAKIS Academic Year 2020. And these parts of my PowerPoint that I will explain later. Background of the study: speaking is considered as an important skill that must be achieved by students. Based on observation and interview to students at 7th grade in MTS and UPAKIS, some problems were still found in ability of students in English, especially speaking. Students' speaking skills are relatively low. They have difficulty to expressing ideas and opinions verbally because they are afraid of making mistakes and not confident to speaking English. They having trouble pronouncing certain English words. To be able to speak rather than pronunciation, the richness of vocabulary is also important. The most of students do not have vocabulary mastery, and only a few students in the class have a dictionary. Their competence in grammar is also bad, and classes are monotonous and less enjoyable in class. So in this connection with this problem, the researcher want to use picture strategy to improve speech. Researchers have agreed to work collaboratively to overcome this problem. Identification: based on the background, speaking skill in 7th grade in MTS and UPAKIS are low, so the problem can be identified. First, factor of student. Second, factor of teacher. Factor of student: students thought that speaking English was difficult. They already thought that first, so they have difficulty to express ideas and opinions, and therefore they prefer to be silent and not fully participating in the class, and then make it problem in their speaking. And second, factor of teacher. The media, which are considered strong to attract student attention, apparently have no effect in the learning process. That making student easily bored, not interesting, and not motivate during the learning process. The teacher always thought that LKS books as a material which is make it student not interesting. Statement of the problems. Before I explain about statement, I will explain about limitation of the problem. In this research, the researcher used action research. So the researcher focused on how to improve student speaking skill 7th grade in MTS and UPAKIS through collaborative fieldwork. Teachers are expected to overcome problem and help students to improve their speaking skill. So the statement of the problem is, how can teacher improve the speaking skill in 7th grade in MTS and UPAKIS? The objective of the research is to improve student speaking skill of 7th grade in MTS and UPAKIS. And next, methodology of the research. The research design of the study is classroom action research. The implementation of action research is there are steps. First, reconnaissance, planning, action, observation, and the last, reflection. Reconnaissance in bahasa is pengintaian. The researcher conducted preliminary observation in class and several interviews with English teacher and student. In addition, the researcher also conducted a pre-test to see the student performance, that is to find problems related to the teaching and learning process of speaking. And next, planning. After identifying the problems, the researcher and English teacher discuss about the implementation of picture for solving problems, and they are agreed to focus on the strategy. To success in the action process in one cycle, the researcher create a one cycle lesson plan that was designed to be implemented in 4 meetings. In addition, the researcher also prepared the required media such as slot boards, a picture based on the picture-based activities designed in the lesson plan. And next action. In this phase, the researcher apply teaching activities using picture. I will give a little explanation about the learning process. First, the teacher divided students into small group, each group consisting of 4 or 5 students, and then the teacher explains about the general descriptive text, and then the teacher give a picture of family, and the teacher give an example how to explain the picture by explaining in detail what is in the picture. And last, the teacher asks students to progress in describing their class. And next, observation. During the action, the researcher collected data through observing and documenting the teaching and learning process of speaking and the obstacle that might arise. Data obtained from observation are then written into field notes. And next, reflection. Finally, the researcher evaluating of action to understand what has happened. In this phase, the researcher interview English teacher to find out if there were some improvement or obstacle during one cycle. To get responses from students, the researcher conducted interview and distributed questionnaires. Based on result of one cycle, the next cycle is considered unnecessary because students experience an improvement in their speaking abilities. And next, technique in collecting data. The data of this research was obtained through several techniques such as interviews, observation, tests, questionnaires, and documentation. And the instrument of this research were in the forms of interview guidelines, observation sheets and checklists, speaking rubrics, and questionnaires. The researcher also used photo video camera for document the teaching and learning process. And next, technique in analyzing data. There are two kinds of the data analysis in this research, namely qualitative data and second, quantitative data. Qualitative data was each of the cycle was described based on the findings of class observation. In doing the analysis of the data, the researcher used observation sheets and questionnaires, and the last, the researcher transcribed them to obtain the activity recording during the teaching and learning process. And next, quantitative data. Quantitative data was taken from the speaking test. After student test to speak in front of class about the describing picture, the teacher evaluates using the following formula: vocabulary, fluency, pronunciation, intonation, and understanding. And the last, conclusion. The researcher provides solutions to problem faced by 7th grade student at MTSRU Pakis 2020. The problem is students speaking are relatively low. The researcher used action research method and the media is picture media. The researcher provide pre-test, post-test questionnaires, and from the result of the data, there is improvement from their speaking. So the assessed aspects are vocabulary, fluency, pronunciation, intonation, and understanding. So with this increase in value, the researcher only uses one cycle. That's all my presentation. Thank you, Memaya. Thank you to my friend who listened to me. I'm so sorry if I had a mistake. Thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.